How are you doing?
All right, thank you. Great T-shirt.
Thank you. Let me start by saying you were fantastic in the movie. Have you? I guess my big question of the day is: have you mailed a thank you gift to the casting director on The Crown yet?
To Nina?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether I have. Have I given you a gift, Nina? I don't think I have. I've sent her various emails over the years thanking her for all the parts she's given me. But I see her quite often, actually. I bump into her quite a lot, so I think probably every time I see her, I do that. But I should probably buy her a present.
Oh, I mean, maybe just a gift card. You know.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, I've definitely done that.
Right.
Yeah.
Jumping into this character is incredibly popular with so many people. What do you think it is about her that resonates with so many people?
I think she feels out of sorts in the world, I think, and I think a lot of us do. I think a lot of us are told a lot of time by society what is the definition of success, what means you belong, what means you're normal, what means that you fit in, and what means that you kind of make sense. And Lisbeth doesn't really fit into any of those categories. She doesn't. She's very complex. She's very complicated. She's seemingly unlikable in lots of ways. But yet she's the protagonist of this film and an incredibly successful group of books. So I think it's that people identify with the fact that she doesn't quite know how to live in the world in that way.
You got to. I think this is your first time doing this kind of action, and I'm just curious, what did you think it was going to be like going in, and what was it actually like?
Doing the action?
Making a film on this scale.
It's difficult, really. I'd never done an action movie before, and so when I read the script, to me, there wasn't a lot of action in it. I suppose from my point of view, I had the two significant fights, but I never approached them like action fights. They were choreographed, and but they felt to me like very kind of human fights that Lisbeth was having. That they were kind of her clinging on to life and fighting to the bitter end, really. It required me to kind of get fit and kind of be physically fit to kind of do the shoot as well, because there was so much kind of physically involved just day to day. But yeah, I mean that was just a part. The rest of it was the kind of the acting stuff that I do the rest of the time.
I'm curious, how do you typically like to work on set, and was it any different inhabiting this character?
I don't really have any particular approach on set. On set, I'd turn up and work and then go home.
Well, I've spoken to some people who say like they like absolute silence, or they love to blast music, or they have like a thing that helps them get into. Yeah, I can see your face. You're like, no.
I'm very much believe that you sort of make films with other people. I don't. I do my work at home and I come ready, and I love being on a film set to talk to people I don't really like keeping myself to myself in that way. But yeah, it's my job to do my work. It's not. I don't feel like I have to take up, anyone else's time by me saying I need everyone to stop so I can concentrate, because that's not really fair, because everyone else is trying to work at the same time, aren't they? So, I like it being a collaborative, kind of relaxed environment.
I'm a big fan of Fede, and I'm just curious if you could talk a little bit about working with him, especially because he co-wrote, he's directing. So I'll just stop there.
I think that Fede was the film in a way. No one else knew what the film was apart from what was happening in his head, I suppose. So, and he often didn't know what he wanted or what he. Until the day that you were shooting it, and he came to set, and he would be inspired by something or change something, or he'd kind of have his eyes opened in some way, whether that was by a crew member or a member of the cast, or the landscape that we were shooting in, or something like that. So he's quite free with the form that he's making. But the movie was definitely his baby in that way. We were all on board with him, I suppose, and had faith in him when making the movie.
One of the things I really like is the way he moves camera. And there's like a slowly moving camera through scenes. How much are you looking at that? How much are you paying attention to where the camera is, and how much is it sort of, you're not even aware of it when you're filming?
I mean, you have to be aware of the camera because the camera is your friend in a way. You know, you knowing where it is and what it's doing is part of the job. But you know, I always just keep on acting and then hope that the camera at some point picks it up. Yeah, it's not. I'm not looking at the style when I'm working really.
Sure. I have to run. I'm looking at the
You
clock.
have to run.
Yes. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you so
I
much.
really appreciate it.
Oh no, thank you very
Cool.
much.